You have loved eating chili peppers ever since you were a child. Mom and Dad always suspected you were not their biological son. So when that tearful male lead showed up, claiming he was the true young master of the Lee family, they believed him without a moment's hesitation. On the night the DNA results came back, you were sent packing back to the urban village overnight. What awaited you was a dilapidated, run-down house, strange parents, and a group of cold, indifferent sisters. After the male lead's rebirth, he knew these 7 sisters would become absolute powerhouses in the future. So, before returning to the wealthy elite, he deliberately made them swear an oath that he would forever be their only brother. Having secured the sisters' promise, he contentedly returned to the Shen family to be their pampered young master. However, he had no idea that you had transmigrated into this world. Standing before the cramped, shabby shack among the neighbors, you could not help but smirk at the prominent demolished sign on the wall. Through the tattered curtains, you noticed a pair of cautious eyes watching you. A moment later, the owner of those eyes immediately darted away. After a brief hesitation, you walked into the hallway. You gently knocked on the door. "Anyone home? It is Li Shen." After a while, the door finally cracked open. The little girl who had been peeking from the window poked her head out. Her face was full of wariness. She slowly opened the door. The interior was dark and damp. The cramped space immediately came into view. Suppressing the urge to complain, you did your best to put on a bright smile. Greeting the people inside, you said, "I am back." Your smile caught everyone in the room off guard. They had received word long ago that you were being sent back. They even heard you were unwilling to return, and had even thrown a massive, life-threatening tantrum. While they were sizing you up, you were observing them as well. The sisters all had different expressions. Some were indifferent, some joyful, some hopeful, and some were even afraid. The eldest sister, Li Shui, appeared the most composed. She was mature and steady, 22 years old this year. She had gotten into a prestigious university through her own hard work. You grinned slightly. "Hello, big sister." Li Shui's expression remained calm. "Welcome back." Her tone was cool. You then glanced at the second sister. She was the school beauty, Li Shen, a superb dancer. She was scouted by talent agents while still in school. She leapt straight into the entertainment industry, becoming a highly popular idol. You politely called out, "Hello, second sister." Li Shen gave a cold snort. She turned her head away, her face full of disdain. Then your gaze shifted to the girl standing next to Li Shen. Her expression screamed, "I am the boss around here." She looked incredibly rebellious. The eldest sister, Li Shui, introduced her. "This is the 4th sister, Li Yu. Then there is the 3rd and 5th sisters. The 6th sister is visiting our aunt's house." You gave a bright smile. "Hello, 4th sister." Li Yu simply rolled her eyes. The youngest sister could not hide the longing in her eyes. She took a timid step forward. "Hello, brother Shen." You knelt down, making eye contact with the little girl. You smiled and said, "Hello, little sister." The 4th sister, as if seeing a kidnapper, quickly pulled the little sister behind her. Finally, you looked toward the Li parents, who were standing aside in silence. You opened your arms and gave them an affectionate hug. "Mom, Dad." Li Shen's parents' eyes instantly brimmed with warm tears. They hurriedly asked Li Shui to take you to get some rest. Li Shui did as she was told. She led you to the room where Qin Che used to stay. Although the Li family was poor, it seemed they gave their only son very special treatment. There were only 2 bedrooms in the house. Qin Che had a room all to himself, while Dad and Mom slept in the living room. Li Shui then spoke frankly to you. "The Li family is nothing compared to the Qin family. The rooms are small and run down. You will just have to make do with it." Usually, Che's shower time was from 8 to 9 p.m. The rest of us stay in our rooms to study then. The house is small, and the soundproofing is terrible. You can hear everything from the bathroom in the living room. Li Shui continued, "The rest of us sisters and Xiaomei are limited to 15 minutes for washing up. Dad and Mom shower immediately after getting home from work. The bathroom is reserved for them between 7 and 8 p.m. This schedule is non-negotiable. I am not sure if you can accept this." You responded calmly, "If Sister Shui does not mind, please send me the family's usual schedule. I will follow it from now on." Li Shui glanced at you, frowning slightly. "Are you really sure you want to stay and live with the Li family?" You could not help but chuckle. "Why would not I? My surname is Li, not Qin. I hope you will truly treat me as your little brother from now on, Sister Shui." Li Shui's cold expression finally softened a bit. "Fine, I will keep that in mind. Also, I did not bring much back from the Qin house. I do not want to wear Qin Che's old clothes. Could you please help me get some new ones, Sister Shui? That is only right." After saying that, Li Shui left the room. You paced back and forth alone in the cramped bedroom. In a cardboard box by the desk, you found 2 containers. You flipped them open to look inside. They were filled with cheap little gifts. Seeing these, your eyes grew a bit moist. While you were immersed in your emotions. Muffled voices suddenly drifted in from outside the door. Even though you tried not to eavesdrop, the house was so small that every sound reached your ears clearly. You heard about the family's dire situation. The eldest sister had to earn her own tuition. Little Shen had excellent grades, so she could not drop out of school. Mom said it was not an option. Shen just got back. Won't this make things hard for him? Let us find another way. Mom let out a heavy sigh. Among the hushed whispers, a cold but determined voice rang out. It was Li Shen. I won't go to school this semester. I will go find a job. Dad immediately snapped at her. Stop talking nonsense. What kind of future will you have if you just work? Suddenly, there was a sound against the doorframe, and the living room fell into a dead silence. You really could not take it anymore. You turned the doorknob and walked out. That is when Li Yu let out a sarcastic remark. If Che were still here, we would not be in this much trouble. The eldest, Li Shui, immediately stopped her. Li Yu, watch your tone. Poverty was a long-standing, unsolved problem for this family. Li Yu muttered unhappily, but we had already agreed with Qin Che. As long as he takes a gap year, and once Li Shui graduates and starts working, we can send him to a better high school. But now, there is another mouth to feed. Who even attends a prestige school? We are so poor. How can we possibly afford this? Li Shui's expression immediately turned grim. You let out a sudden chuckle. Li Yu was fuming with rage. What are you laughing at? You said nonchalantly. Fourth sister, you really are quite amusing. Li Yu felt like she was being mocked. I am not your fourth sister. I only have one brother, and that is Qin Che. You raised an eyebrow. Then let me ask you this. Who made the decision for Qin Che to take a gap year? Of course, it was a family decision. Qin Che is the only one with poor grades. Yet he is wasting money at a third-rate high school. Anyway, he's 10,000 times better than you. Li Yu spoke with a mix of resentment and arrogance. You gave a soft smile. Actually, even if you did not say it, I knew Mom and Dad decided this after talking it over. Because Qin Che's academic performance is a disaster. Am I right? In the living room, Mr. and Mrs. Li looked at each other, their faces filled with embarrassment. It is naturally awkward to be called out like that, but you just smiled gently and said, however, I have always been at the top of my class. Li Yu was stunned on the spot. How is that possible? Your voice came calmly. Fourth sister, you are in your senior year, right? Why do not we have a math competition? Li Yu let out a mocking laugh. Number 1 high school is a top-tier school in the province. She has never dropped out of the school's top 10. Even if she competes with him, do not say she is bullying a rookie. You blinked innocently. Then please go easy on me, fourth sister. Li Shui could not help but interject. Shen, you just got here. You should just get some rest. You insisted. Big sister, I am actually pretty good at this. Li Yu had already pulled out her homework for tonight and slammed it hard onto the table. Big sister, do not worry about it. Li Shui could only say, fine, then I will be the judge. You and Li Yu answered in unison. No problem. Li Yu grabbed a test paper, both sheets being the most difficult ones. Don't say I am taking advantage of you. You nodded slightly. Thanks, fourth sister. I will do my best. Li Shui suddenly remembered. Shen, you are not even a senior yet. You replied that you were. Li Shui frowned and said, if there is anything on the paper you can't do, just leave it blank. Anything outside the junior year syllabus won't count. But Li Yu confidently agreed. She smirked. Just do not cry when you lose later. The competition officially began. Li Yu buried her head in work, scribbling furiously on the sofa. Meanwhile, Yu wrote with calm composure at the dining table. In less than an hour, Li Yu finished quickly. Li Yu smugly and sarcastically reminded, it has been 58 minutes. Right at that moment, you put down your pen. You stand up and hand the test paper to Li Shui with both hands. She glances over the paper quickly. Her face is filled with pure shock. Li Yu also hands her own test paper to Li Shui. Li Shui's expression gradually becomes complicated. Li Yu asks impatiently, well, how is it? Did Shen fail? Li Shui slowly shakes her head. She hands the paper back to her. You lost. Li Yu's eyes widen instantly. That is impossible. Li Yu looks down to check the paper. She realizes that for the last two most difficult problems, you used multiple methods to solve them. These were the hardest problems from last year's college entrance exam. And not only did you get them right, you even provided 3 different solutions. You let out a slightly mischievous sigh at her. Sorry, fourth sister. It looks like I have deprived you of the chance to drop out. Big sister, go and call second sister back. The tuition fee issue is settled. Li Yu snaps out of her frustration. She shouts indignantly, I am not dropping out. You give a slight smile, but your grades are not as good as mine. Li Yu is momentarily speechless. You chuckle softly. Just kidding. Don't take it to heart, fourth sister. Someone has already covered my tuition for the next 3 years. I will continue my studies. I will also find a way to handle second sister's tuition. Dad's eyes light up. Mom is both shocked and overjoyed. Is that true? Shen, this will save the Li family a fortune. That is wonderful. You turn to big sister Li Shui. Let us go find second sister. It is not safe for her to be out there alone. Li Shui agrees with a smile. Okay. Mom's worries vanish instantly. Come back early, you two. I am going to cook. You and Li Shui step out of the house together. Li Shui walks side by side with you. She says in a low voice. Fourth sister does not mean any harm. She just really likes Xiaoqie. Don't hold it against her. You reply softly. I won't. You and Li Shui pass through the construction site and arrive at the bustling sports field. Li Shen is sitting on a bench. Li Shui says, wait for me here. Then she walks straight toward Li Shen. A moment later, Li Shen turns her head. Her gaze is as cold as frost. She immediately brushes past Li Shui and heads straight back toward the Li home. Li Shui returns to you. Let us go. We should head back too. So you follow behind her. The moment Li Shen enters the house, she senses that the atmosphere is a bit off. Dad is sitting on the sofa, browsing yesterday's newspaper. There is a slight smile on his face. Li Xiaomei is playing with a toy frog. Li Yu is sitting on the sofa, looking like someone owes her $100 million. Mom comes out of the kitchen, carrying tomato soup. Shen, you are back. Dinner is ready. Wait, why did you come back alone? Li Shen seems absent-minded. They will be back in a second. I have already eaten. Then he headed toward the bedroom. Dad Li put down his newspaper. 15 minutes later, you and Sister Shui returned home. You took off Zhang Yang's flashy shirt and put on a simple white t-shirt and casual pants. Li Yu and Li Xiaomei looked up simultaneously as you walked in. You looked incredibly handsome at this moment. Li Yu was still fuming over her defeat. I am skipping dinner. Not hungry. Dad Li's face beamed with joy. That is my boy. You look dashing no matter what you wear. With a slight smile, you asked, really? Of course it is true. Dad Li asked Li Shui curiously. How much did this outfit cost? Li Shui stood with her hands in her pockets. The t-shirt was $10 and the pants were 20. They even threw in a pair of socks. Dad Li was stunned for a moment. Why so cheap? We should have bought Shen a few more sets. You explained. No need, Dad. I will be wearing my school uniform anyway. This set is enough for a change of clothes. Li Xiaomei had already dropped her doll. Daddy, can brother Shen take me to school tomorrow? If he takes me, the kids at school will be dying of jealousy. Dad Li flatly refused. No. Don't bother your brother. Li Xiaomei slumped back in disappointment. After dinner, you went into the kitchen to help Dad Li with the dishes. But before you could start, Dad Li shooed you out. Dad Li looked at you and said, just go sit on the sofa. He turned to Li Shui. Take the rice from the cooker to Shen and you. Li Shen and Li Yu are still growing. They can't just skip meals. In the bedroom, Li Yu sat at her desk. Losing to Li Shen was such an embarrassment. She turned to look at Li Shen, who was lying on the bed. Li Yu called out softly, second sister. Li Shen took off one earbud. She opened her eyes. What is up? When Li Shen went to find you today, what did he say to you? Nothing. Li Yu quietly shut her mouth. Li Shen put her earbud back in. A clear magnetic male voice played through the earbuds. It was Qin Chei's voice. The next day, you got up very early. You gave the room a thorough cleaning. You did not like using secondhand things. Everything Qin Chei left behind had to be thrown out. You filled up a large trash bag. When you opened the door, you happened to run into Li Yu walking out of her room. You grinned and greeted her. Morning. Li Yu looked straight ahead, ignoring you. That is quite a lot of stuff you are clearing out. Suddenly, a hand reached out in front of you. It lifted the heavy bag effortlessly. It was Li Shui. You gave a bright smile. Morning, big sister. Li Shui said. Leave this heavy lifting to us girls. A little brother like you can't carry this. Don't push yourself. You felt a genuine warmth in your heart. You followed Li Shui outside. Unexpectedly, the bag had a hole in it. The junk he had collected was now scattered all over the floor. At the same time, Li Yu opened the door. Li Shen, what do you think you are doing? Li Xiaomei also peeked out from her room. Even Li Shui's expression was quite grim. You let out a faint smile. There is too much stuff piled up in the room. It will be too cramped if I do not throw some of it out. So I was just clearing some of it out. Li Yu practically lunged forward. She grabbed your wrist in a tight grip. All of this belongs to Che. What gives you the right to do this? Your wrist ached from her grip. You glanced at the other three sisters. Their expressions were all indifferent. You raised an eyebrow and said, I can give you the Qin family's address. If you do not want me to throw these things away, you can personally deliver them to him. Li Yu had no outlet for her anger. She let go of your hand. She scooped up all the things from the floor in one go. From now on, you are forbidden to touch Che's things again. You said with an amused smile. You do not dare go find him, because you know he won't accept these. So you can only take it out on me. Li Yu, that is not very classy of you. Li Yu looked as if you had struck a nerve. Li Yu roared in anger. Nonsense. These are Che's things. If I give them to him, he will definitely accept them. You do not understand him at all. He is not a person like you. You sighed nonchalantly. Do you have any idea how rich the Qin family is? The bedroom Qin Che lives in now was personally designed by me. It is 200 square meters. The room has a natural mineral bath. a walk-in closet, and a gym. His clothes are the latest season's collection from international luxury brands. His shoes are top-tier, fully handmade custom pieces. The skincare products he uses have their ingredients repeatedly tested. They are exclusive products formulated specifically for his skin type. You absolutely can't buy them in a supermarket. Are you sure you want to give him this bag of trash? Will he even use it? Li Yu stubbornly retorted. Even if he does not use them, he will definitely treasure them. You simply dropped a line. Whatever you say. Li Yu heard the helplessness and resignation in your tone. I will return them, then. I will return them. I will definitely prove it to you. You were about to be brought to tears by her sheer cluelessness. You could not be bothered to argue with her. You casually tossed out a phrase. Suit yourself. From your tone, Li Yu sensed your resignation and overwhelming disdain. Her self-esteem was instantly shattered. She yelled at the top of her lungs. Fine, I will go. I will show you what I am made of. Your expression remained unchanged. You did not even bat an eye. All right, I will be waiting. Fuming, Li Yu stormed back into her room. She slammed the door so hard the whole building seemed to shake. You gave an almost imperceptible shake of your head. You were full of pity for her. The plot in the book was crystal clear. After the real young master returned to the Qin family, he was worried his biological father, Qin Jingshuo, would feel hurt. Even after his sisters all became successful, he never once returned to the Li family to visit, following the standard script for a cool male protagonist. After the real young master returned to the Qin family, he quickly blended into the high society life and switched on his ruthless face-slapping mode. Entering the elite school, he dominated his clueless classmates. At luxury parties, he delivered critical strikes to those arrogant rich heirs. Even at the mall, he would school any passerby flaunting their wealth. He had long since cast the Li family to the back of his mind. If those sisters of the Li family had not been destined to become his powerful right-hand assistants in the future, their screen time would have lasted 2 chapters at most. Li Shen was the textbook's second female lead. Before becoming the national sweetheart, she barely had any presence at all. So, being sent back to the Li family was purely asking for trouble. After finishing breakfast, Li Shui was the first to head out. She is in university now, right in the middle of her internship. She usually stays in the dorms. If it were not to welcome her brother back, she would not have bothered rushing home at all. I probably won't see her again for another month. As for Li Shen and Li Yu, they both attend number 1 high school. It is miles away from home. The bus ride takes at least 40 minutes. Dorm spots at the high school are limited, and the fees are quite steep. The Li family clearly could not afford it, so the 2 sisters had to be commuters. The lunchboxes they carried were just leftovers Mom intentionally made extra of last night. A quick reheat this morning, and they were good to go. You do not have a lunchbox. Instead, Dad left 20 yuan by your bedside. He probably wanted you to figure out lunch on your own. He did not want you to feel mistreated. 20 yuan is actually quite a lot. For the Li family, that is enough for several of the sisters' lunches. You feel a touch of warmth in your heart. Yingao High is right near number 1 high school. It is just as far from home, so you have to head out with Li Shen and Li Yu, leaving Li Xiaomei all alone at home. You are a bit worried. Is it really okay for Xiaomei to be home alone? The moment Li Yu hears you speak, she gets annoyed. She wants to take a jab at you. Stop acting so concerned. Third sister will be back in a bit. The nearest bus stop to Jinyulin Complex was 200 meters away. You were not sure if Li Yu was doing it on purpose, but she walked incredibly fast, leaving you in the dust instantly. You walk side by side with Li Shen. She is wearing white headphones, her head tilted slightly, looking like she has a do not disturb sign on her face. You call out to her, Li Shen. Li Shen turns her head impatiently, her pretty eyebrows furrowing slightly. You speak up and ask, second sister, could you lend me some change? Once you drop coins in the bus box, you can't get change back. Dad gave you a single 20 yuan bill. Right now, you are flat broke. You have to make every penny count. Li Shen purses her lips. She fishes 4 1 yuan bills out of a worn-out wallet and hands them over. Her expression remains icy and detached. You smirk as you take the money. I will pay you back. The girl's voice is as cold as ice. Arriving at the bus stop, he boards the bus. The bus is packed like a can of sardines. You can't even see a sign of Li Yu, tucking 2 bills into the fare box. You struggle to squeeze toward the back of the bus. Suddenly, you feel someone's hand brush against your thigh. Instantly, a wave of nausea hits you. The Yingao High uniform consists of a white shirt paired with suit shorts. The shorts end right at the knee. They are not revealing at all. You can be absolutely certain that whoever touched you did it on purpose. Only 2 days into this world, and I have already run into a pervert. Your temper flares up instantly. You turn around to see which idiot was looking for trouble, but you find Li Shen standing next to you at some point. She suddenly shoves her backpack between you and the crowd, forcefully creating a defensive barrier around you. You are stunned for a moment. A smile slowly spreads across your face. You say softly, thanks, second sister. However, Li Shen does not even look at you. Her beautiful eyes are as cold as ice. You recall the book's description of Li Shen, an idol who found fame at a young age. But in private, she has a hell of a temper. The moment you step into the classroom, relying on your memory, the air seems to freeze instantly. Every student turns their head in unison to stare at you. Their eyes are filled with pure shock. A fake young master actually dares to show his face at Yingao High. At the same time, you spot Qin Che surrounded by a crowd of people. He sits at his desk and looks over at you. Seeing you, a look of obvious nervousness appears on his face. As if he is terrified you will cause him trouble. You suddenly remember the original plot. The former young Master Li did indeed bully him, saying that even if he reclaimed his identity, he was nothing more than a crow wearing phoenix feathers. His grades were a total disaster, making him completely unworthy of studying at Yingao High. At that time, the female students led by Bai Ningbing, seeing how vulnerable he was, felt an immediate surge of protectiveness. They offered to tutor him on the spot. And Bai Ningbing, who originally had an engagement with you, the fake heir, fell for Qin Che the moment he transferred to Yingao. It was love at first sight. She fell hard and fast, then unilaterally tore up her marriage contract with you. This led to Li Shen's downward spiral in the original story. Thinking of this, you furrow your brows. No matter how formidable Bai Ningbing is, you do not give a damn. Amidst your thoughts, someone calls out, "Classmate Li." You look toward him. You see Qin Che rising from his seat, suppressing his nervousness and restraining his hostility. He gives a generous and tolerant smile. "I hope we can get along peacefully from now on." But you just nod calmly. You reply indifferently, "Fine." Then you walk toward your own seat. It was not just the students in the classroom. Even Qin Che was dumbfounded. The other classmates' jaws literally dropped. You were usually so arrogant at school. Looking down on everyone was your norm, except for Bai Ningbing. No one was worthy of your attention. How could you treat Qin Che so calmly? You nonchalantly wipe your desk with a tissue, pull out your books, and begin previewing the lesson. Qin Che stares at you for a while, then reluctantly looks away, until the bell rings for class. Bai Ningbing still has not shown up. You hear the surrounding students whispering, "Skipping class again. I heard she went to teach those seniors at number 1 high a lesson. Anyway, the teachers do not dare to discipline her, especially since she takes first place in every exam." You lower your eyelids, your expression indifferent. This period is mathematics. The teacher is lecturing on trigonometry. She asks someone to come up and solve a problem. She spots a handsome new face in the classroom. She calls him out with great interest. "That student over there, the new transfer student, yes, you. Come up and solve this problem." Qin Che is picked. His face turns pale instantly. His grades are actually terrible. He failed the entrance exam for Yingao High when he transferred. His overall score was barely a 60. Math was his worst nightmare. The Qin family had to donate 3 buildings just to squeeze him in. He has no clue how to do this. He can't even understand the question. The math teacher thinks he is just being shy. "Come on, it is okay if you get it wrong." Qin Che is forced to bite the bullet and go up, standing before the blank blackboard. He holds the chalk for ages and only writes the word solution. The classmates are getting restless. The math teacher also begins to realize something is wrong. In desperation, she turns and picks someone else. "Qin Shen." You stand up at the call. You say with a faint smile, "Teacher, I have changed my name. My last name is now Li." The math teacher looks at you beamishly. "All right then. Student Li Shen, why do not you come up and guide student Qin Che?" You walk up to the podium. You casually take the chalk from Qin Che's hand. Following his solution, you write down a string of formulas. You say calmly, "Apply this formula first, then transform it like this." Qin Che stands aside, suddenly feeling extremely inferior. He feels the whole class's gaze burning on him. A problem that is like climbing a mountain for him is handled so effortlessly in your hands. You have already filled the board with the logic and steps. Then you ask indifferently, "Do you understand now?" Qin Che grips the hem of his shirt tightly. He nods stiffly. Only then does the teacher show a satisfied smile. "Very good. Li Shen, please help your new classmate more in the future. And you, the new student, should learn more from Li Shen." You frown slightly. You do not respond. Qin Che mumbles a response like a mosquito. Yes. The class ends quickly. The teacher has the class representative hand out 2 test papers as homework. You are underlining key points from the lecture. A shadow suddenly looms over you. You look up. Qin Che is standing in front of your desk. He even dragged his seatmate along for moral support. You speak up and ask, "Can I help you?" Qin Che looks a bit restless. Can you teach me how to solve these problems?" You raise an eyebrow, somewhat surprised. Qin Che hesitates for a long time, then purses his lips, and says seriously, "The Li family is very poor. Life must be hard for you since you went back, right? If you tutor me, I will pay you. You will earn money with dignity, and you can help out with your family expenses." You instantly see through his little scheme. You give a light chuckle. "Look, classmate, I will find my own way to earn money and support my family. No need for you to worry." Qin Che did not expect you to reject him so bluntly. "Student Li, I know you have a prejudice against me, but please do not be so stubborn. This is a win-win solution, is not it? The Lee family is already so poor, they can't even put food on the table. They have no money to keep you at Yingao High. If things go south, you might even have to drop out. You reply, that is none of your business. I have plenty of ways to make money. Chin-che could not help but blurts out, Student Lee, are you afraid I will surpass you? You blink your eyes, with an amused expression. After a moment, the corner of your mouth curls up. You are right. Chin-che lingers at your desk for a long time, only to walk away in frustration. A deskmate comes over to comfort him. Chin-che, do not be too bummed out. Li Shen is just like that. He has eyes for no one but Bai Ningbing. Too bad Bai Ningbing does not give him the time of day. If you could win over Bai Ningbing, and have her tutor you, now that would be legendary. Chin-che's interest is instantly piqued. The deskmate carries on endlessly with the intro. Who is the coolest at Yingao High? It has to be Sister Ningbing. Her looks crush every school bell, and her exam scores are the stuff of myths. She skips class whenever she wants, yet still takes first place. Once Sister Ningbing makes a move, even kidnappers end up paying her protection money. In short, Sister Ningbing is invincible. Chin-che is instantly infatuated. You still do not know what Chin-che is plotting. You are preoccupied with figuring out how to make some cash. During the last class of the day, the homeroom teacher announces, monthly exams are next Monday. Go home and study hard, everyone. Those at the bottom of the class will be staying for extra lessons for a week. We will also have a parent-teacher meeting at the end of the term. The entire class erupts in groans of despair. Except for you, of course. You curl your lips into a slight smile. Once the teacher leaves the classroom, you pull out the notebook you spent all night organizing. The slackers are suddenly drawn to this bright red notebook. Brother Shen, a slacker calls out tentatively. You look over at the sound of the voice, smiling with narrowed eyes. What is up? Need something? The slacker gives a shy smile. Brother Shen, could you let me borrow your notes to copy? It is a total emergency. It is already Friday, and Monday is only 2 days away. You tilt your head, but I need to study, too. The slacker starts kissing up to you frantically. Brother Shen is so legendary. You would take first place even without studying. If only you would be willing to lend me those notes. You are caught between laughter and tears. All right then. However, I am not lending them. I am selling them for 1,000 bucks. The whole notebook is yours. What do you think? The slacker is stunned for a second. You say slowly with a beaming smile, I am so broke right now, I can't even afford a meal. If you guys are not interested, then forget it. An academic underachiever immediately shouted in excitement. I am in. The other slackers heard this, and the room instantly erupted. I will give you 10,000. Your phone began to vibrate like crazy. In less than 10 minutes, the 2 sets of notes you stayed up all night copying were completely sold out. A net profit of $20,000. The slackers who bought the notes were perfectly satisfied. Half an hour later, the classroom was almost empty. It is time for you to go home too. As you packed your bag and prepared to leave, someone blocked your path. Chin-che had a look of grievance in his eyes. Why can't we just be friends? Even though our identities were swapped, it was not your fault. Li Shen. We really do not need to be at each other's throats like this. You looked at him. Since when were we at each other's throats? Chin-che, I do not want to be friends with you, simply because we are not the same kind of people. It is as simple as that. Chin-che retorted. Is it because you resent me for taking back your identity? You clearly do. You stared at him with total composure. I do not give a damn about that wealthy family life. If you want it, take it. I have grown tired of living in luxury anyway. Have not I? Right now, I just want to experience life as an ordinary person. Chin-che was instantly rendered speechless. Good luck with the monthly exams. I hope you get good grades. You walked right past him and left. Yingao High does not require evening self-study, but number 1 high school does. You wanted to wait for Li Shen and Li Yu to finish school so you could go home together. So you wandered around the vicinity of number 1 high alone. You bought some Odin and 2 ice cream cones. While passing through a certain alley, you suddenly caught the scent of blood, the sound of steel pipes hitting the ground, and dogs barking drifted over. Suddenly, you heard someone cry out in surprise. Bai Ningbing. That name made you stop in your tracks instantly. You looked into the alley. The silhouette of a tall girl was distinct in the darkness. She turned her head. Her fox-like eyes were filled with a sharp ferocity. It was Bai Ningbing, but for some reason, you were drawn to her. You could not bring yourself to walk away. Bai Ningbing shot you a warning glance. Her gaze was ice cold. You wanted to leave, but you could not. You could only watch as a group of seniors scrambled up and threw their backpacks at her. She kicked them away. Since you could not leave, you simply leaned against a utility pole at the alley entrance to enjoy the show. Bai Ningbing's expression darkened. She glared at you again. A backpack swung by a senior flew straight toward her. She dodged it, and the bag flew right at you. Your ice cream fell to the ground with a splat. You reached out and blocked the bag. The senior who hit you stammered, I am so sorry. Bai Ningbing was stunned for a moment. Then she let out a soft chuckle. With a nonchalant air, she said, "The big boss only makes a move after watching the show for so long. That is not very fair, is it?" He bent down to pick up the backpack. The seniors from number 1 high suddenly realized who he was. "So you guys are in this together." Bai Ningbing speaks up with bold confidence. "Can't you see he's wearing the Yingao High uniform? Of course we are on the same team. Right, boss?" Your face darkens as you remain silent. Bai Ningbing leans against the wall, introducing you lazily. "Let me give you guys a little lesson. This is the big boss of our school. If he tells me to go east, I would not dare head west." You guys knocked his ice cream over. You are dead meat now. The seniors from number 1 high looked terrified. Yingao High has never had a male school tyrant before. Bai Ningbing gives a radiant smile. "My bad. Starting today, we are making an exception." The number 1 high seniors are completely dumbfounded. They stare at you, trembling with fear. You have been successfully framed as the culprit. You let out a couple of cold sneers. You set down your Odin snack. 10 minutes later, bodies are sprawled all over the alleyway. Bai Ningbing dangles her backpack with one hand. Her other hand is tucked casually in her pocket. Curiosity glints in her eyes. "Hey, what is your name?" You turn a deaf ear to her. You bend over to pick up your Odin and turn to leave. Bai Ningbing licks her lips. Excitement flares in her eyes. "How about another round? Let us become sworn partners. I will have your back from now on, and I mean in every sense of the word. The Bai family is the most prestigious household, and she is the heiress of that family. She gets whatever she wants. Anyone she favors could basically walk tall for a lifetime, but you do not need that kind of charity at all. You can't even be bothered to look at her." Expressionless, you drop a single remark. "Sure." Then you turn around and wave her off. Your shorts flutter in the wind. "Talk to me after you finish your 5-day tour of the detention center." 5 minutes later, the victorious girl and the beaten-up guys are all hauled into a police car. The number 1 high seniors wail in protest. "We are the ones who got beaten up. Why are we being arrested too?" The officer pulls out a baton and warns them, "Quiet down. So young yet looking for trouble. All of you behave yourselves." Only Bai Ningbing remains expressionless. A gloomy aura lingers between her brows, as if she is ready to strike at any moment. It is already late when you get home. The whole family is staring at you. Their eyes are full of surprise. An awkward atmosphere fills the living room. Even Li Yu's face looks a bit strained. Li Shen's father is clearly embarrassed. He hurriedly gets up from the sofa. "Shen, you are back. How was school today?" "I will go cook a bowl of noodles for you." You have already guessed what is going on. Lifting the bag of Odin, you say gently, "It is my first time taking the bus home, so I am not familiar with the route. That is why I got lost." "No need to bother, Dad. I have already eaten. Look at what I brought for everyone." Li Xiaomei practically pounces on you. Her voice is crisp and bright. "Yummy treats." Your smile grows even brighter. Opening the bag, he handed a skewer of fish balls to her, then placed the rest on the table. Li Yu let out a soft snort. "I thought you would run back to the Chin family again. Coming home so late. We did not even save any dinner for you." You had already expected them to think this way. A helpless smile played on your lips. "Since I have come here, I won't be leaving again." Running back in secret is even more out of the question. Pausing for a moment, you turned to Li Shin and asked, "Second sister, do you want some? It won't taste good once it gets cold." Li Shin's expression remained cold and indifferent. Where did the money come from? At this question, Li Xiaomei, who was munching on a fishball, froze. Li Yu, who was about to snatch a squid roll, pulled her hand back. Dad, who was reading the evening paper, looked up. Mom, just about to enter the kitchen, stopped in her tracks too. "That is right. The Li family only gave you $20 today. Where did you get the money for Odin?" Everyone's gaze focused on you, their eyes filled with suspicion. The air seemed to freeze. You gave a nonchalant smile. "It is not from the Chin family. I earned it myself." Li Shin's brow furrowed deeply. Her face was written with pure distrust. Li Yu acted as if she would caught you red-handed. She said sarcastically, "Who are you kidding? Where could you possibly earn that much money? Our Li family might be poor, but we have our pride. We won't eat anything that comes from a shady source." Li Xiaomei sat with a fishball stuck in her mouth. Her cheeks puffed out, caught in an awkward spot. You stared straight at Li Yu, without saying a single word. Silently, you picked up the Odin from the table, turned around and walked into your room. The moment the door closed, Li Yu felt as if she would been slapped by an invisible hand. Mom scolded. "Xiao Yu, you have gone too far." Shen was kind enough to bring food back for everyone. Even if he did take money from the Chin family, you should not have said it like that. Go apologize to him later. Li Yu, who was initially feeling a bit guilty, immediately snapped back. "I won't. Why should I apologize?" He could not even explain where the money came from. "It is definitely dirty money." Mom was left speechless, only able to give a soft sigh. Dad put down his newspaper. "I will go talk to Shen in a bit, and find out where that money really came from. If he borrowed it from the Chins or a classmate, we will pay it back for him." Just then, A car horn honked outside the door. Xiaomei swallowed her fishball in the chaos and jumped up excitedly. It must be fifth and sixth sister back from great aunt's house. They always bring me treats when they come back. She rushed out like a whirlwind. The atmosphere in the living room softened slightly. Mom took the chance to remind her, behave. No matter what, you must apologize to Shen later. Li Yu remained stubborn. I am not doing it. In less than a minute, Li Xiaomei led a group of strangers back inside. They were all wealthy young heirs and socialites, each dressed in luxury brands. One of them was even casually toying with a Ferrari key. Rich heirs like these, the Li family could not possibly know them. They must be here for you. The boy dangling the Ferrari key stood at the center, wearing a polite smile. Hello, uncle. May I ask if Li Shen lives here? Dad Li's eyelid twitched. He nodded, hurriedly. Yes, he does. Then he gave Li Yu a stealthy kick, signaling her to pour some tea. He then carefully knocked on your door. Shen, your classmates are here for you. You opened the door. The Odin on the worn-out table behind you remained untouched. Having changed into your school uniform, you walked out with an expressionless face. You recognized the group at the door at a glance. They were the slackers who bought your study notes. Standing at the threshold, you had already guessed the purpose of their visit. Dad Li pulled Mom Li aside, whispering nervously to her. They must be here to debt collect from Shen. I wonder how much he borrowed. How much do we have left on our card? Mom Li's brow furrowed with worry. Only 1,000 left. We are already over budget this month. Dark clouds seemed to hang over their heads. Li Yu poured the water but did not serve it. She thought, why would these rich kids drink cheap tea? Instead, she moved closer to Mom Li to complain. And you still wanted me to apologize to him. Debt collectors are literally at our doorstep. How embarrassing. Li Xiaomei hid timidly behind the sofa. Suddenly, the rich heir's eyes lit up when they saw you. They waved their hands exaggeratedly. Brother Shen, we finally found you. The problem-solving logic in the notes you sold us is too hard. We are totally lost. Could you provide some after-sales service and explain it to us? You were not surprised at all. Your brow did not even twitch. I can. But it is quite late now. Brother Shen, Monday is only 48 hours away. Consider this a life-saving favor. We promise to listen carefully. We won't take up too much of your time. You pondered for a moment. Then you turned to the stunned Dad Li and Mom Li. Dad, Mom, I am heading out for a bit. I will be back around midnight. The slackers hurriedly reassured them. Don't worry, Uncle and Auntie. We will make sure to bring him back safely. Before Dad and Mom Li could even snap out of it. Snap. The door had already closed behind you. Silence filled the living room. After a long pause, Mom Li seemed to finally wake up. She asked cautiously, Dear, did you hear that just now? Dad Li's emotions were complex. I heard it. So Shen did not take money from the Qin family after all. The money for the Odin was earned by himself. Doesn't that make our earlier suspicion incredibly hurtful? Li Yu's hands were shaking from the shock. Who would have thought he had a side hustle like that? Li Xiaomei grinned triumphantly. Fourth sister, you better apologize properly to Brother Shen later. Li Yu glared at her, but I had no choice but to nod. I understand. Another door suddenly swung open. Li Xin walked out wearing white headphones. A cold indifference flickered between her beautiful eyes. I am going out for a bit. Mother Li just started to speak. It is so late. Where are you going? Without looking back, Li Xin walked out the door. You sat inside Li Yingji's red Ferrari, remembering he was not even 18 yet. This made you frown involuntarily. The two boys in the car took the initiative to explain. This is his cousin's car. He just borrowed it for a while. The license is in the car, too. I will drive. Your tone left no room for doubt. Li Yingji originally wanted to show off his skills, but he begrudgingly moved to the passenger seat. Yet he did not dare to utter a single word of protest. As soon as you took the wheel, you immediately showed the flair of an old pro. Under the moonlight, your profile was strikingly handsome. The underachiever could not help but exclaim, Brother Shen, how long have you been driving? You are way too skilled at this. You kept your eyes on the road, and replied nonchalantly, It has been a while. I used to dream of being a race car driver. But now, I am thinking about the Nobel Prize. The two boys in the car chattered on incessantly, talking about celebrities, then school forums, and eventually bringing up Bai Ningbing. Brother Shen, how are things going with Bai Ningbing? If it is not working out, just find someone else to chase. There is an older girl in my social circle who is gorgeous. While waiting for the red light, you said flatly, I am no longer interested in Bai Ningbing. I won't be chasing her anymore. The underachiever's eyes lit up. Brother Shen, take a look at my sister, then. She is not a player. You shook your head speechlessly. I do not need that. The two boys thought you were feeling discouraged, and began to comfort you one after another. You let out a light chuckle. I do not want to date for the time being. I just want to focus on my studies. In the blink of an eye, you arrived at the underachiever's private library. You tutored them until past 11 p.m. The slackers finally felt like their brains were actually working. When you finished, the underachiever volunteered. Brother Shen, let me drive you back. But you waved him off. No need. It is close to home. I will just walk back. It is getting late. You guys should get some rest too. The underachiever still insisted on walking you out. As the two of you passed through the main gate, under the dim yellow streetlights, a slender figure stood there silently. You were stunned for a moment. Then the corners of your lips curled up. No need to see me off. Go get your car. The underachiever looked bewildered. He watched as you walked steadily toward that person, and called out, "Second sister." Shen lowered her gaze. Her tone was aloof. Mom and Dad were worried. They told me to pick you up. You intimately hold onto his arm. Let us go. Mom and Dad must be worried sick by now. Shen frowned slightly. In the end, she does not pull away. He glances at you from the side. Under the moonlight, your face looks so pure. Your smile is radiant. It is as if a small pebble has been tossed into the calm lake of his heart, sending ripples through his soul. You seem completely oblivious. Asking with a bright smile, "Are Mom and Dad asleep yet?" "They are." "Then I have really troubled you tonight, second sister." "It is nothing." The two of you walk home together. Your connected shadows merge into one. Shen catches the faint fresh scent of lime soap on you. He remains silent for a moment, then suddenly speaks up. "I am sorry." Your footsteps pause. "Why are you apologizing to me?" Shen stops walking, looking you straight in the eye. "If I had not asked, Yu would not have said those things. I apologize for my behavior, and for my sisters as well." You purse your lips tightly, remaining quiet for a while, seeing the uneasiness he is trying to mask with calmness. You can't help but let out a laugh. "Second sister, you are being so serious. I thought something major had happened." "Don't worry. I did not take it to heart." Shen looks half convinced. "Really? Of course. When Yu misunderstood me, I intentionally did not explain. I was just waiting for her to find out the truth herself. People only believe what they see, not what others tell them. I just joined this family, so it is natural for people to be on edge over every little thing. I was not actually angry, but being a pushover with no boundaries only makes people think I am an easy target. To prevent things from escalating in the future, I had to play the angry card. Turns out the effect was pretty good." Shen's expression visibly softens, though she remains cool on the surface. Her tone is much gentler. "Still, do not pull stunts like that again. In school, you should act like a student. You are not a businessman." You nod your head, grinning like a cat that just ate the canary. "Understood." Shen says no more. The two of you arrive home. You expected the house to be pitch black, but even though it is 12:20 a.m., the Lee family home is brightly lit. Xiaomei, Dad, Mom, and Yu are all sitting in a row on the sofa. Not a single soul is asleep. Seeing us return, the three of them stand up in unison. They speak in one voice. "You are back." Your gaze sweeps across each of them. "Dad, Mom, fourth sister, why are you all still up so late?" With an awkward look, Mom gives Yu a shove. The latter stumbles forward right in front of you. Yu looks completely reluctant. She lowers her head and mumbles, "I am sorry." Her voice is so quiet it is almost inaudible. You want to tease her a bit. The corners of your mouth curl up. "What was that, fourth sister? I did not quite catch that." Yu snaps her head up. Her eyes are blazing with fury. She growls through gritted teeth. "I said, I am sorry." Shen's brows furrow slightly, but your smile remains unchanged. "It is fine. Don't take it to heart, fourth sister." Only then does Mom let out a sigh of relief. "Shen, my dear, you was in the wrong. Please do not hold it against her. She promised it won't happen again." Your eyes crinkle into a crescent smile. "I trust, fourth sister. The Odin is still in my room. We can heat it up for breakfast tomorrow." Seeing that you are not milking the situation, Yu's anger cools down a bit. She turns her gaze directly to Shen. "Second sister, did you go out specifically to bring him back?" Shen purses her thin lips tightly. Her face instantly darkens. Your heart tightens for a moment. Her gaze suddenly turns icy cold. She looks at him with suspicion. As their eyes meet, Shen turns and strides back to her room. The door slams shut with a loud bang. Mom approaches you with a worried look. "Shen, nothing happened between you and Shen, right? Did you two just bump into each other on the way?" You respond with a beaming smile. "Not at all. Second sister and I are getting along great. I really like her." Mom forces herself to relax. She gives a soft sigh. "Out of all my children, Shen is the most introverted. She just won't change. Back when little Che was here, he would talk to her often. Things were a bit better then. Since you like her, try to chat with her more when you can. I really wish she would brighten up a bit." You nod slightly. Your gaze drifts toward that tightly closed door. A meaningful glint flickers in your eyes. After chatting for a bit, you head back to your room. Mom needs her rest too. She has work tomorrow morning. She and Dad work together to turn the sofa into a bed, taking advantage of their distraction. Yu slips into your room. She sees you about to open a drawer. She leans against the door, hand on the knob. She asks curiously, "What exactly is going on between you and second sister? Why did she come back with with you. You tilt your head and smile. That is a secret. Li Yu's face drops as she curses. Damn it. She glares at you with wide eyes. Let me tell you something. Don't even think about getting close to second sister. There is no way she would ever give you the time of day. In our hearts, there is only room for little Che. Your expression remains calm. The corners of your mouth curl up slightly. It is getting late. Aren't you tired, fourth sister? Li Yu finishes her piece. She turns to leave. You do not forget to add one last thing. Please close the door on your way out. Thanks, fourth sister. Li Yu, who originally wanted to slam the door in spite, nearly explodes. She glances at her parents, already lying on the sofa bed. In the end, she does not dare to make a scene. She can only close the door gently. She turns around and flips you the bird. Her teeth are grinding audibly in frustration. Clearly, there is no hope for a shower tonight. The living room is the only way from my room to the bathroom. By the time you finish, it will probably be midnight. It would wake mom and dad, who get up before the rooster, and work harder than an ox every single day. I turn off the lights and lie down. I close my eyes to rest, but sleep won't come even after a long while. I can't help but let out a sigh. I get up and grope around in the dark. By the moonlight, I reach for that cold Odin left on the table. Just as I am about to take a bite, there is a soft knock at the door. Confused, I walk over to open it. In the pitch-black doorway stands a figure even darker. I can't even make out a face. Suddenly, a plastic bag is shoved toward me. The shadow at the door turns and leaves immediately. I call out tentatively in a low voice. Second sister. No one answers. Helpless, I head back to my room. I turn on the light to check. Inside the bag is actually a pineapple bun. It is all wrinkled, and a few pieces of the crust have fallen off. God knows where she scrounged this up from, but it feels soft and delicious to the touch. My eyes crinkle into a smile. I put down the cold Odin, and finish every last bit of that sweet, fragrant bun with gusto. The next morning, I head out feeling refreshed. Li Yu and Li Xiaomei are hanging around by the sofa. I see Li Yu and little Xiaomei just messing around on the sofa. Li Shen is busy in the kitchen making breakfast. This is a chore the sisters take turns doing, except of course for Li Xiaomei, who is not even tall enough to reach the stove. After washing up, I immediately slip into the kitchen. With a bright smile, I say, "Second sister, let me help." Li Shen, who is frying eggs, freezes her gaze. Stand back. Just as I stop, oil splatters from the pan. Instantly, a glaring oil spot appears on my school uniform. Li Shen frowns deeply. Fourth sister. Li Yu rushes in, holding a triangular plastic board. What is wrong, second sister? Li Shen purses her thin lips. Take him out of here. Li Shen catches a glimpse of the oil stain on my uniform. Li Yu sneers. I told you second sister would ignore you, and yet you still tried to butter her up. Right as she finishes speaking, Li Shen speaks again. Take off your uniform. Have fourth sister wash it for you. I glance at Li Yu, whose face looks like she just swallowed a fly. I curl my lips into a smile. Okay. Thanks, second sister. Li Yu protests in dissatisfaction. Second sister, that is not fair. However, seeing Li Shen raise an eyebrow, with a cold hint of displeasure, Li Yu immediately wises up. With a face full of gloom, fine, I will wash it. If you wear dirty clothes to Yingao High, it is the Li family's reputation on the line. Amused, I quirk an eyebrow. I really did not expect Li Yu to be this afraid of Li Shen. Usually, she dares to talk back to mom, complaining about this and being annoyed by that. Yet one look from Li Shen can make her totally submissive. She truly lives up to her role as the cool second sister. Li Yu catches my teasing gaze and immediately glares at me. What are you looking at? Hurry up and take it off. I was only teasing her anyway. I had no intention of actually making her look bad. So I smile and say, don't be in such a rush, fourth sister. The school is issuing new uniforms soon. It is just a tiny oil stain. You can't even see it unless you look really closely. No need to wash it. Li Yu immediately beamed with joy. Her expression said, at least you know your place. She turned to Li Shen. Second sister, you heard him right. It is not that I refused to wash it for him. Li Shen only gave a faint hum in response. Li Yu quickly slipped out of the kitchen, terrified of being assigned more chores. You found an apron from somewhere and put it on. The large fabric completely wrapped around your tall, lean frame. Even though you are just an ordinary person, you look surprisingly handsome in it. Second sister, let me help you. That way you won't get your clothes dirty. Li Shen pursed her thin lips and did not object, but as you approached, she suddenly dropped a comment. We are even for what I owed you yesterday. A sense of helplessness rose in your heart. So her kindness yesterday was just a calculated move, because of one thing he said yesterday. You were being bullied by Li Yu. So today, she deliberately let you get back at Li Yu. You really did not know what to say to that. However, you were not discouraged. You gave her a smile. Thanks for the pineapple bun you gave me last night, second sister. It was delicious. Li Shen's beautiful eyebrows instantly knitted together. Her voice was cold and aloof. What pineapple bun? You were stunned, even more surprised than she was. If she did not give you the bun, then who did? Suddenly, an absurd idea floated into your mind. You turned around to look at Li Yu, who was on the sofa playing with Xiaomei. It could not be her, could it? The corner of your mouth twitched slightly. After a moment of silence, you looked up and ended the topic casually. It is nothing. Maybe someone just slipped it to me by accident. What are you making, second sister? I will be your sous chef. Shen, who usually hated gossip, frowned and pressed further. She turned off the stove and plated the eggs. It is done. A doubt was planted in your mind. The way you looked at Li Yu started to change. You remembered the original novel never mentioned she was a tsundere. Your flickering yet sharp gaze made Li Yu feel inexplicably creeped out. She could not help but wonder if someone was cursing her behind her back. When she finally realized the gaze was coming from you, she immediately snapped at you. What are you looking at? Is there something on my face? You asked her point blank. Fourth sister, was it you who gave me that pineapple bun last night? Li Yu's expression changed drastically at a visible speed. The tips of her ears turned bright red instantly. She became completely flustered. It was as if her brain had glitched for a second. She did not know how to respond. Then she raised her voice, putting on an extremely fierce attitude. T. I would never give you a bun. She clearly stammered at the end of her sentence. You keenly sensed that subtle shift in her mood. Li Xiaomei, who was eating fried eggs, raised her spoon curiously. What pineapple bun? The redness from Li Yu's ears spread to her entire face. She hurriedly kicked Li Shen's foot under the table, giving her a desperate signal. I do not know. Second sister must have given it to you, Li Shen said flatly. I did not. Panicking, Li Yu gritted her teeth and said, then mom must have given it to you. Anyway, it was not me. Absolutely no way it was me. You drawled out your words, letting out a soft "oh," and said with a light chuckle, I do not think it was fourth sister either. Maybe mom gave it to me. I will ask her later. The moment you finished speaking, Li Yu shot up and roared. It is just a stupid piece of bread. Are you for real? What is there to even ask about? So petty. Acting like you were being mistreated all day. Seeing that she was about to fly off the handle, you advised her to quit while she was ahead, saying calmly, mainly because that bread was just too good. I really liked it. I wanted to ask where it was bought, and say thank you by the way. Li Yu was suddenly at a loss for words. Her face and neck flushed red, and she slowly sat back down. After a long pause, she finally squeezed out a sentence. It is just a piece of bread, and you are making a big deal out of it. So uncultured. You got up to go back to your room. I took out the tianel stew from the fridge and left it on the table. Heat it up and you can still eat it. Second sister and I will be back late. Could I trouble fourth sister to give this to the person who gave me the bread? Li Yu huffed and turned her head away. I do not want to. Ask someone else. You clasped your hands together, pleading with an adorably innocent face. Fourth sister, please. This is a special request from me to you. Li Xiaomei chewed on her fried egg, unable to figure it out no matter how hard she thought. Li Yu and Li Shen both go to the same high school. They come back at the same late hour. So why did you specifically ask for a favor? From Li Yu, who has always been at odds with you. My brothers and sisters are so weird. It is such a headache. Yingao High does not have Saturdays off. They only get one day off on Sunday. So you still have to go to school today. Li Xiaomei was still being taken to school by her third sister, whom you have never met. Before leaving, you casually asked, third, fifth, and sixth sister, when are they coming back from Aunt's house? Li Yu craned her neck, keeping an eye on the bus on the road, and answered at the same time. Aunt's family runs a small diner. Recently, a new residential building opened up nearby. The foot traffic has exploded. They need extra hands to help out. Third sister, along with fifth and sixth, won't be back until next week at the earliest. You were not clear on the Li family's relatives. After all, a novel has so many characters. Those minor characters are glossed over in just a few lines or a chapter or two. Besides, what readers want to see is the drama and sweet romance. Who would bother to remember all that? And so, you slung on your backpack and set off. Today, Yingao High was unusually different. All along the way, people were whispering everywhere. Your gut told you. These discussions were definitely about Bai Ningbing. Sure enough, someone's intel was on point. The news that Bai Ningbing got into a fight and was detained had already been posted on the forum. Instantly, the whole school was in an uproar, like a pot of boiling water. Everyone was stunned. Bai Ningbing actually got beaten up by someone from number 1 high school. They have got some serious guts. And to think the one who reported her was her own sponsor. Looks like they do not want to make it in this town anymore. Even some senior students were cracking their knuckles, ready for a fight. He is looking for someone from number 1 high to start a fight, to get justice for Bai Ningbing. If you can't win a fair fight, you resort to dirty tricks. What kind of a man is that? You are a bit speechless. Normally, when regular people get into a fight, they get detained for a few days. But Bai Ningbing actually got out so quickly. As expected, suspected of someone with the female lead's plot armor. Suddenly, the sound of an argument reached your ears. You saw a guy with a buzz cut and his two lackeys, cornering a girl under a tree. He was wearing white sneakers. His two long legs were both straight and strong. He lifted one leg and propped it against the tree trunk, right next to the girl's ear. All the girls present were stunned. The cornered girl wanted to look at him, but did not dare to. She kept her head down like a frightened quail. The buzzcut guy questioned her, with an imposing aura. "Say what you just said one more time." The girl quickly begged for mercy, her face contorted in tears. "Brother Jiji, I was wrong. I should not have bad-mouthed Sister Ningbing. Please let me go this time. I told you to repeat what you just said." The guy's eyes were ice cold. The girl lowered her head in shame. Her voice was barely audible. "So what if she has good grades? It is no big deal. And what if she is pretty? She still ended up in the police station. She is always skipping class and causing trouble. Bai Ningbing is just so. I do not get why all the guys at school are so obsessed with her. They are so shallow." The moment she said that, all the guys at the scene instantly erupted. Every single one of them was rolling up their sleeves, eager to rush forward and teach her a lesson. Bai Ningbing was the goddess in the hearts of all the boys in school. Who would dare to disrespect her? This girl actually dared to talk trash about Bai Ningbing behind her back, and she even mocked them for being shallow. This is absolutely unforgivable. Shen Juji lifted his chin. His eyes were filled with contempt. "Someone like you dares to diss Sister Ningbing. Take a good look in the mirror and see what you are made of. Sister Ningbing can get first place even without attending class. Can you?" The girl was so ashamed, she wished she could find a hole to crawl into. "I am sorry. Get lost." Shen Jiji put his leg down. He kicked her right in the butt. "If you ever dare to badmouth Sister Ningbing again, do not blame me for not being nice." Even after being kicked, the girl did not dare make a sound. She fled without looking back. The whole drama was over in just 5 short minutes. The girls who were watching and recording the video were still craving more. They had no choice but to slowly disperse. You were also about to leave, but as you turned, you caught something in your peripheral vision. Shen Jiji was heading towards you with his crew. In a flash, he blocked your path, casting a shadow over you. "Hold it. I need to talk to you." You could not even be bothered to lift an eyelid. Your tone was indifferent. Of course, you recognized this guy. Shen Jiji, the young master of the wealthy Shen family, the undisputed king of Yingao Hai. Unlike the fake young master, who was proud and aloof, Shen Jiji formed his own gang at school. He was a big shot who could call the shots. He even gave his little group a catchy name, the Bai Ningbing Fan Club. Once he set his sights on you, it did not matter whether you wanted to or not. You had to obediently join the club. Many guys who did not even like Bai Ningbing were also forced to join this organization. Every time Bai Ningbing had an event, all members had to be there to cheer her on. This young master was extremely generous. The membership fees were more than enough, so there have not been any major incidents. Over time, some people were even moved by his devotion. They called Bai Ningbing the Flower, and him, the guardian of the flower. The fake young master naturally despised this ship. That is why he and Shen Juji were like fire and water. The grudge between them grew deeper and deeper. They became mortal enemies. Clearly, Shen Juji showing up this time was to stir up trouble, and just as expected, he took another step closer. He threatened with an icy glare. "It is a rare day for Miss Ningbing to come to school. You would better not bother her. If I find out you are pestering her again, you will face the consequences." You were utterly speechless. You took a step back and said calmly, "I have no intention of bothering her. Let me pass." Shen Juji's brows shot up. He got even angrier. "Don't think just because you have an engagement with Miss Ningbing, you can look down on everyone. Today, I am just not going to let you pass." You gave him a subtle glance, as if looking at an alien. Then you crossed your arms and asked nonchalantly, "Class is about to start. You are keeping me here. Are you trying to get detention with me for being late?" Rage boiled in Shen Juji's chest. For a moment, your question left him stumped. He did not know how to respond. As everyone knows, Bai Ningbing despises school bullying more than anything. Seeing that the class bell was about to ring, you did not want to waste any more time with this pest. You reluctantly took a step back. You promised him, "I give you my word. From now on, I will never bother Bai Ningbing again, and I will break off the engagement with her. If you still do not move, I am going to the dean of students." Shen Juji was stunned. He simply could not believe his ears. You took the chance to walk around him, ready to leave, but he grabbed your arm. His voice suddenly shot up an octave. "What? Say that again." Music to my ears. You frowned, your tone impatient. "I said I won't bother Bai Ningbing anymore. You do not need to treat me as an enemy anymore." Shen Juji shrieked. "Why?" You looked amused. "Do you even need to ask? I do not like her anymore. I am not feeling it anymore. I do not want to pursue her." Liar. Shen Juji's eyes widened. You used to be obsessed with Bai Ningbing. Obsessed to an almost pathological degree. Whenever Bai Ningbing showed up, you would stick to her like glue. impossible to shake off. And now you are saying you are not feeling it anymore. You were at a loss for words. Your attitude was casual. Believe it or not, it is up to you. If you keep holding me up, I will be late for class. Shen Jiji's brows furrowed in conflict. His grip on your hand tightened. Afraid you would slip away. No, you have to give me a reason today. If you do not give me a good reason, I can't believe you, and I won't let you go to class. Your face was cold. Because he has been to jail. Shen Jiji stares wide-eyed. What kind of lame excuse is that? He feels like he has been played by you again. But you just give a deadpan explanation. I think it is a perfectly valid reason. First of all, I am young. My understanding of romance is limited. It is easy to fall for someone just because of a pretty face. But that is not true love. Secondly, I only like proactive star students. Someone with a criminal record like his doesn't deserve someone with a clean slate like me. In short, all this time, I only liked his persona. Now that his persona has crumbled, I do not like him anymore. Is that clear enough? Shen Jiji is completely dumbfounded. He starts questioning his life choices. Liking someone only for their persona. Does this kind of love even exist in this world? Before he can even snap out of it, the surroundings suddenly go dead silent. You notice his face suddenly turns pale, followed by a chorus of greetings from ahead. Sister Ningbing, hello Sister Ningbing. You curse inwardly, knowing things are about to go south. The biggest train wreck of the year is about to happen. A tall, slender girl appears. She carries her bag in one hand, and keeps the other hand in her uniform pocket. Those beautiful phoenix eyes shine like ink-wash stars. She exudes an air of lazy nonchalance. Even an ordinary school uniform looks incredibly classy on her. She stands there casually. Her indifferent posture leaks an effortless elegance. Gone is yesterday's sharp ruthlessness. Today, she looks like a princess straight out of a manga. Shen Jiji calls out Sister Ningbing in pleasant surprise. A radiant smile instantly blooms on his face. He rushes toward her like a cheerful little bird. Yet Bai Ningbing's gaze is fixed solely on you. She gives a faint greeting. It is hard to tell who she is actually addressing. Shen Jiji is over the moon. He immediately tosses you to the back of his mind. Wearing his sweetest smile, he says, Sister Ningbing, class is about to start. Let us head to the classroom together. Bai Ningbing is still looking at you sideways. The corners of her thin lips curl up slightly. There is a meaningful glint in her eyes. Oh, right. Shen Jiji finally remembers to brag to his rival. He lifts his chin and huffs in your direction. Then he reaches out to take Bai Ningbing's arm. Unexpectedly, Bai Ningbing steps aside to dodge him. He ends up grabbing thin air. Though a bit disappointed, Shen Jiji is not discouraged. After all, today could be considered Bai Ningbing's gentlest day toward him ever. Usually, she does not give anyone the time of day. No guy in all of Yingao High dares to get near her. And he has already become the exception. You stand there with your arms crossed, maintaining a cold expression, unsure whether to empathize with him or pity him. Bai Ningbing suddenly stops not far ahead. She turns her head back, flashing a smile that is drop-dead gorgeous. Hey, star student, aren't you coming? Or do you want to stay there and get detention for being late? You realize right then that she heard everything just now. With no other choice, you have to follow them, tailing them at a moderate distance, keeping a steady pace and a safe buffer. Bai Ningbing does not look back, but for some reason, you feel like you are being closely watched. It is an uncomfortable feeling. Your nerves tense up involuntarily. You stay on your guard, secretly calculating your next move. If Bai Ningbing recognizes you as the one who called the cops on her and wants to come after you for revenge, you will just have to deny everything to the grave. After all, those who cross the female lead usually meet a bitter end. The Li family definitely can't afford to offend her. When the three of them enter the classroom together, the entire class is stunned. Bai Ningbing usually hates boys hovering around her, but today she has two handsome guys flanking her. The class slacker jumps up from his seat the moment he sees you, waving enthusiastically, "Hey brother Shen." You look over at him, offering a faint smile. Right at that moment, Shen Jiji intentionally slows his pace behind Ningbing, blocking you at the doorway. He glares at you viciously. And here I thought you gave up on Ningbing so easily. Turns out you are just playing hard to get. Just you wait. Sister Ningbing will definitely be mine. Misunderstood once again. You can't be bothered to waste your breath. You simply swing your backpack forward, scaring him so much he jumps back instinctively. You walk right past him, leaving behind a casual, whatever you say. Shen Jiji's face contorts with rage, gnashing his teeth in frustration. After returning to your seat, you pull out your English textbook. You stuff your bag into the desk drawer, spread out a notebook, and start writing out the vocabulary you memorized yesterday. From the corner of your eye, you notice Chin Che standing up from his seat. Oh, right, the plot has shifted since last time. Today should be the epic encounter between the leads. That cliché love at first sight scene. Sure enough, Shin walks past you without a sideways glance. A strong scent of Bulgari perfume wafts behind him. He is clearly dressed to impress today. Not only is he wearing perfume, but even his neat short hair has been specially styled. A crystal maple leaf brooch is pinned to his left chest, adding a touch of nobility to his look. Unfortunately, this mature vibe does not suit him at all. It is like a child wearing an adult's clothes. Looking rather awkward. At this moment, Shin stops in front of Bai Ningbing's desk. He clutches his books tightly with both hands, looking incredibly nervous and uneasy. Bai Ningbing has her hands in her pockets, one foot resting on the edge of the desk. She narrows her eyes and lifts her elegant, refined chin, asking coldly, "What is it?" Shin face instantly flushes deep red. He lowers his head, eyes downcast, and stammers, Single quote, "I am the new transfer student. My name is Chin Che." Bai Ningbing was about to impatiently shoo him away, but suddenly a smirk plays on her lips. "So you are the young master the Chin family recently brought back. The guy who swapped identities with Shen." Chin Che immediately beams with joy. His fingertips tremble with excitement as he asks shyly, "You have heard of me?" Bai Ningbing murmurs without truly answering. Rarely, she shows a hint of lazy patience. "What do you want from me?" Chin hesitates bashfully for a moment. Finally, he musters the courage to push his book forward, speaking as if he is facing a firing squad. "I heard that classmate Bai is very good at math. I was wondering if you could help me with some problems." The moment the words leave his mouth, the entire classroom falls into a dead silence. Every student stares at Chin Che, their eyes filled with deep pity. Another poor soul blinded by Sister Ningbing's looks. "You could not help yourself." He could not help but let out a chuckle. But then he heard Bai Ningbing ask, "Why do not you go ask Li Shen? His grades are really good too." Chin nervously clutched the hem of his shirt. He instantly realized he had misspoken, but he was not willing to accept defeat. Just like that, Chin voice turned dejected. He lowered his gaze slightly. He looked so wronged and pitiful. "Li Shen. He is not willing. He said we are not on the same path. I guess it is probably because I am too stupid. I can't seem to learn anything right. That is why everyone finds me annoying. Unlike Li Shen, who is naturally smart, and even has famous tutors for extra help. That is why he can always be so outstanding." As he finished, his shoulders trembled. He let out a soft choked sound. His act of trying to be strong was heart-wrenching to watch. His words left a heavy, oppressive sadness hanging in the air. He shook his head and added, "It is probably just me being too dumb. I can't learn anything properly. That must be why I get on everyone's nerves. Li Shen is different, though. He is smart and gets extra tutoring from top teachers. That is why he is so brilliant." These words cut through the little warmth in the classroom like a knife. She looked up at him, a storm of unspoken emotions churning inside her. And this scene made the girls in the class see red. Their protective instincts flared up. Their glares shot towards you in unison. Memories flooded their minds. The old you was arrogant and cold, insufferably conceited. The you of today, in their eyes, had not only failed to improve, but had become even more malicious. They once felt a sliver of admiration when you sold your notes, thinking you might have learned your lesson. But now they felt a leopard can't change its spots. The person who started all this trouble was being defended while you just sat there, an indifferent look on your face. Your none of my business attitude stung everyone. The girls could not hold back any longer. Some people think they can bully the new kid just because they have good grades. Have you no shame? It is fine if you do not want to help, but why be so passive-aggressive about it? Did you forget you are not a young master anymore? Their words hit you like a barrage of cannonballs. Chin don't be discouraged. It is not your fault your grades are not as good as a certain someone's right now. It is just because you were too poor to afford cram school before. If we are talking real potential, it is still up in the air who is better. The Demon King got roasted by the whole class this time. Can you please act like a decent human being? Why is the new transfer student having such a hard time? He won't even help with a few problems. The voices came one after another, pushing the emotional tide to its peak. Chin did not rush to defend himself. Instead, he suppressed the blush that rose from all the attention. He said sincerely, "Thank you all for standing up for me. I am fine." Actually, I do not think he meant it. "I hope you won't misunderstand him because of me. He will be upset." This speech was like a breeze rippling across the water. The girls were once again moved by his kindness and generosity. They all turned to throw accusatory looks at you. "See, the real young master has such class. And you, even with great grades, you should learn some manners." Your anger began to build. You were practically bursting with laughter on the inside. After all, if the op male lead does not find someone to face slap, how is the plot supposed to move forward? As for you, you have tragically become the stepping stone for the story's progress. Just as you were roasting them in your head, a sudden sound echoed through the classroom. The sharp screech of a desk scraping violently against the floor pierced everyone's eardrums, instantly grabbing their attention. The gossiping stopped dead in its tracks. Every pair of eyes darted toward the source of the noise. There you were, one long leg propped up on the corner of the desk, followed by a forceful shove. The movement was sharp and decisive, sending an entire row of desks sliding back in unison. A cold aura emanated from between your brows, any trace of a smile long gone from your eyes, replaced by a dark, simmering rage. The girls who were just gloating a moment ago now stood frozen, as if struck by lightning. They could sense the great demon was truly pissed off. Qin thought he had the upper hand, and was secretly rejoicing at this turn of events. If he is this angry, it must be because he heard I like him. If he steps up to defend me now, this will be a total win. With a hidden smirk, he took a step forward, wanting Bai Ningbing to get a clear look at his face. But he failed to realize that your anger had already reached its boiling point. Qin flashed a bright, radiant smile, his voice exceptionally soft. Classmate Bai, do not be upset. Li Shen probably has her reasons. I am sure she did not mean to target me. The moment the words left his mouth, Bai Ningbing's gaze turned as cold as midwinter. Her thin lips parted slightly, spitting out two words: get lost. The atmosphere in the classroom froze instantly, even though Bai Ningbing had always been the ice queen, never giving any guy the time of day. Being this direct and blunt was a first. Qin stood there stunned. His body trembled as he instinctively took a step back, his face turning deathly pale. He never imagined he would be treated this way. He timidly raised his eyes to look at Bai Ningbing. Those icy eyes, that gaze was like a frozen pond, freezing him to the core. He tried to force a smile, pretending it did not bother him, but it came out awkward and stiff. If classmate Bai does not want to help, then never mind. I did not mean to be a bother. Bai Ningbing suddenly laughed, but that smile was like a blade, sharp, cold, and bone-chilling. If you do not want to bother me, then do not come crawling in front of me. And that perfume you are wearing, it is absolutely repulsive. It makes me want to puke. The classroom fell into a dead silence. Standing off to the side, you almost could not keep a straight face. Qin was paralyzed, his eyes welling with red. He raised his hand to sniff the fresh citrus scent on him, his mind filled with confusion. What went wrong? He would clearly researched that this was his favorite brand. He would even gifted it to his mother, and now he is saying it smells disgusting. Qin looked like he was on the verge of a total breakdown. The cannon fodder, who had a secret crush on Bai Ningbing, finally spoke up, mustering all his imposing presence. Miss Bai, do not you think you are going a bit too far? Qin did not do anything to provoke you. No matter what, he is still a boy. Bai Ningbing's phoenix-like eyes narrowed slightly. A cold glint shot straight at him. Her tone was calm, yet carried an oppressive weight. Well then, I hope that in the future, when you get good grades, people will just say you are naturally smart, and had famous tutors to guide you. That it has absolutely nothing to do with your desperate hard work. Would you not feel wronged then? The cannon fodder was so taken aback, his throat tightened, his face flushed beet red. He completely lost the courage to retort. The atmosphere in the room suddenly became awkward. The small faction of girls with a protective instinct could no longer sing their high-pitched song of solidarity. After Bai Ningbing laid it all out, they carefully mulled over Qin words. There was indeed a certain awkwardness to them. It was not until it was pointed out that the sense of dissonance finally became a consensus. In that instant, all the gazes directed at Qin subtly changed. Even the girls who had been so eager to defend him just moments ago were now filled with regret. It was as if they realized they had fallen for some kind of pity party performance. It was as if they realized they had fallen for some kind of pity party performance. It was as if they realized they had fallen for some kind of pity party performance. Qin face was completely red. He scanned the room with a helpless look in his eyes. His gaze finally landed back on Bai Ningbing. It seemed to be filled with expectation. However, Bai Ningbing remained expressionless. She pulled her long legs back from the desk. Then she turned around. She stood up and left without a second thought. Just then, Shen figure suddenly rushed in front of Qin. He questioned him through gritted teeth. Miss Bai went through so much trouble just to attend one class, and you just had to go and ruin her mood completely. Are you satisfied now? Qin opened his mouth, but could not utter a single word. Shen spat out one last harsh sentence. Then he ran out, chasing after Bai Ningbing. The bell for the second period rang. The atmosphere in the classroom was tense and uneasy. Qin kept his head down, like a child who had done something wrong. He clutched his textbook and slowly walked back to his seat. As he walked past you, His footsteps paused. He hesitated for a moment, then turned to look at you. The corners of your mouth curled up slightly. Your eyes were filled with undisguised mockery. This is what you call hoist by one's own petard. You looked at him, and you almost wanted to laugh out loud. As expected, a face-slapping protagonist can't survive without screen time. Chin-che bit his lip. He shot you a fierce glare, then he turned his head and continued walking forward. A moment later, the witty and humorous physics teacher walked into the classroom, bringing with him a sense of relief. Just as everyone was gradually getting into study mode, Bai Ningbing unexpectedly pushed the door open and entered again. Shen Zhuji followed her every step. Close behind, she leisurely returned to her seat, a lazy expression on her face. It seemed like she was just taking a stroll and came back. Shen Zhuji, however, looked a bit down. After sitting down, he looked as if he would lost his soul. When he chased after her just now, he thought Bai Ningbing was so disgusted she was about to leave school. But it turned out, he followed her all the way to the restroom. Bai Ningbing was just washing her hands. When she saw him in her peripheral vision, her movements paused. Then he casually flicked the water off his hands. He raised an eyebrow with an air of nonchalance. I really did not expect this, classmate Shen, that you would have such a bizarre fetish for watching people wash their hands. At that moment, Shen Zhuji's face turned a burning bright red. He was so humiliated, he practically wanted the ground to swallow him whole. Physics class began. The teacher handed back last week's test papers. Li Shen took the top spot with a solid high score of 96. Meanwhile, Bai Ningbing had missed the exam. Unsurprisingly, she ended up at the bottom with a 0. As the teacher's words of praise for Li Shen echoed out, the classroom instantly erupted into a frenzy. Everyone had a sudden realization. Hard work is one thing, but IQ really is not something you can just inherit from rich parents. The male students looked at their own papers, their faces flushing with embarrassment. Those who could attend Yingao High certainly did not lack money at home. They all had top-tier private tutors, yet very few possessed such raw, natural talent like Li Shen. Sitting to his right, Chin-che felt like he was on pins and needles. The gazes coming from all directions felt like sharp claws, shrouding him in an invisible shadow. His fists were clenched tight. His fingernails were nearly digging into his palms. His face was a mixture of shame, resentment, and sheer humiliation. Even though he had not even taken this test, those looks made it feel as if he had committed some grave sin. The physics teacher called on Chin-che. He froze for a moment. His dull eyes quivered slightly. He stood up hesitantly, dragging his feet. The boy looked both submissive and incredibly uneasy. The teacher's tone was gentle and concerned. Classmate Chin-che, how was your physics performance at your previous school? It was meant to be a standard pleasantry, but it caused Chin-che's face to turn from pale to ghostly red. His eyes darted around erratically. He was completely at a loss. The surrounding gazes, some mocking, some merely observing, stung him like 1,000 needles, yet drawing courage from some unknown source. He suddenly lifted his head. A slightly mocking smile curled on his lips. Teacher, I was always ranked first in physics at my old school. The whole class was stunned for a second. Then there was a collective sharp intake of breath. He was just begging someone to explain a problem earlier. And now he jumps up and claims to be rank 1. His math is so trash. Could his physics really be that elite? Li Shen, you could not help yourself. You directly let out a chuckle. Rank 1 in the whole school, if memory serves. This hidden physics god Chin-che only managed a 19 on one of his physics papers, right? Since when does a 19 count as being number 1? Just as Li Shen was thinking this, a clear, melodious yet icy voice echoed from the back of the room. It was cold and sharp. Since you are the school's number 1 in physics, then perhaps you could tell us this. What is the centripetal force at the highest and lowest points of a roller coaster's vertical loop? The air in the room instantly froze. Chin-che's silhouette seemed to lock in place. He looked as if he would been hit by a sledgehammer, his soul knocked right out of him. The speaker, Bai Ningbing, slowly stood up. Her posture was elegant yet carried a powerful dominance. Not a shred of emotion could be seen on her cool, beautiful face. Since classmate Chin-che's physics level is so outstanding, surely he would not struggle with such a simple question. Even the girls in class could answer that one correctly. Li Shen, your eyes could not help but meet Bai Ningbing's. Inside, you were filled with helplessness. What does this have to do with me? But then you glanced back at Chin-che, who looked like he was about to have a total meltdown. Looking at him, you could not help but feel a cold sweat on his behalf. Clearly, the rhythm between these two has completely veered off the main plot. According to the original novel, should not they have fallen in love at first sight? A match made in heaven. But in reality, how did it evolve into a full-blown frenemies to lovers disaster? This plot is escalating way too fast. Looking at those two, it feels like they are totally at each other's throats. Did they get the wrong script? They jumped straight from the slow burn channel to the love-hate drama. This plot twist is way too intense. You can clearly sense that Kid Chin-che has already lost his cool. He can only desperately try to save face. He hurriedly defended himself. I have never done this before. Then he added, besides, the curriculum at my old school is completely different from Yinggao Hai. There are so many topics I have not even touched yet. A faint smirk curled on Bai Ningbing's lips. Qin Che, clinging to his last shred of pride, stubbornly barked back, but I believe that with my learning ability, I will catch up in no time. Just wait until the next physics test, and you will see what I am made of. Bai Ningbing casually arched an eyebrow. The physics teacher saw the opportunity and spoke up encouragingly. Qin Che, that is a great determination to have. You must work twice as hard from now on. Qin Che gave a heavy nod, looking very solemn. Thank you for the encouragement, teacher. Instantly, the way the whole class looked at him changed. If he really is some hidden physics genius, then those harsh words he said to Li Shen earlier would not seem so out of line. Maybe Li Shen only managed to beat him because he had some top-tier private tutoring. The weight on Qin Che's heart finally lifted. No matter what it takes, in the next physics test, he must absolutely crush Li Shen. As for you, sensing the subtle looks your classmates were giving him, you just found it hilarious. Won't everything be crystal clear after the next test? If he really has the talent to make such a leap in such a short time and surpass you directly, then that is his skill. What does that have to do with you? It is not like if Qin Che takes first place, you will suddenly drop to the bottom of the class. That is just pure fantasy. You calmly prepared for the second period, which was Chinese class with the homeroom teacher. Before the bell rang, the homeroom teacher deliberately cleared his throat to announce something big after this month's exams. We are going to rearrange the seating chart to prevent some students from sneaking on their phones and distracting others. The rule this time is based on total scores. First and second place will sit together, and so on. I hope everyone puts in their best effort. As soon as he finished speaking, the whole class erupted like a boiling pot. Your face paled instantly. You could not stay calm anymore. Doesn't this mean that you are about to become desk mates with Bai Ningbing? The teacher even added specifically, Bai Ningbing, for the monthly exam the day after tomorrow. I hope you won't be absent. From behind you came a clear, pleasant voice, laced with a hint of a smile. Okay. Suddenly, you felt a burning sensation on your back. Your conscience was practically screaming that you were about to become cannon fodder. Plot system, you have really outdone yourself. The moment the dismissal bell rang, Shen practically greased his soles and dashed right in front of you. He aggressively declared war on you. Just you wait, I will definitely get second place in class and sit next to Sister Ningbing. You silently roasted him in your head. Well, you would better step up your game then. These top 2 spots, whoever wants them can have them. I am so over this. Right now, all you want is to get as far away from that Bai Ningbing as possible. Just as you were thinking that, you heard a crowd gathering around Qin Che behind you. Qin Che, you are a real dark horse, a hidden physics genius. So, when the monthly exam results are out, if we really get placed together, can you let me copy your homework? Qin Che struggled to force the corners of his mouth up, trying to maintain the smile on his face. He asked back with an almost innocent tone, is physics on the monthly exam too? Of course it is. The monthly exam is a joint exam covering all subjects. The entire grade takes it together, and everyone's seat is randomly assigned. We could all be sent to different classrooms for the test. Qin Che's mind went blank with a buzz. He was a little stunned. He had originally planned to have the Qin family hire the best tutors for him as soon as he got home. A hellish cram session. As long as he was willing to put in the work, the fake number 1 could still make a comeback and become the real number 1. Who would have thought it would be this soon? But he still managed to force out a smile, one that looked worse than crying. He pretended to wave his hand magnanimously. If fate brings us together, I will definitely help you out. The student who asked for help was instantly overjoyed. He scurried off, sharing the good news with everyone else. Your gaze retracted from Qin Che's stiff face. You turned your attention back to Shen, who was still standing there. You said coolly, you have picked the wrong rival. He is your real competition. Hearing this, Shen turned to look. His attention was instantly diverted. He muttered, right, how could I have forgotten about him? On the second day of school, he was already scheming to get close to Ningbing. I need to go have a little chat with him. With that, he swaggered menacingly towards Qin Che. You finally got a moment of peace. Only then did you leisurely start packing your school bag. Just then, a ruler on your desk was suddenly held down by a hand. The fingers holding the ruler were slender and elegant. The knuckles were well defined. They had the texture of cool jade. You followed this hand upwards. The sunlight slowly traced its way up. Finally, it settled on a face so beautiful it was infuriating. Bai Ningbing was gazing at you with a gentle smile. She spoke in a tone that brooked no refusal. Star student, I will walk you home. Your face was expressionless. You uttered 2 words, no thanks. But Ningbing acted as if nothing had happened. She said casually, you won't intentionally throw the test this time, will you? Bullseye. She hit the nail on the head. She had seen right through your intentions. For a moment you did not know how to respond, so you chose to avoid the topic altogether. So cold it could freeze the air solid. How I do on the exam is none of your business. Bai Ningbing's thin lips curved into a slight smile, her eyes flashing with a hint of slyness. But you know this too. At Yingao High, we let results do the talking. Every monthly exam score is directly tied to the scholarship evaluations, like that merit scholarship and the needs-based grant that has been around for years. Your face darkened on the spot. Bai Ningbing blinked innocently, looking so smug it was practically asking to be roasted. Then she leisurely added, "Good luck, Li Shen. I am betting on you." Your gaze sharpened into a blade. "Fine. Just do not regret it later." In the blink of an eye, it was Monday. The monthly exam arrived right on schedule. You were assigned to take the test in your own class. Bai Ningbing was in the same exam room too. Even worse, like fate was messing with you on purpose. Bai Ningbing's seat was right next to yours. Behind you was Shen Jiji, watching like a hawk. Beside you was Bai Ningbing, smiling like she had a dagger tucked away. It was basically wolves in front and a tiger behind. You felt exhausted just thinking about it. Meanwhile, that bottom of the class kid looked hyped out of his mind, jogging from the back row straight up to you, all excited. "Bro Sen, we are in the same exam room. If I can hit 19th place this time, I will be able to sit next to you from then on." You gave him a look like, "What are you even talking about? How did I not know there was a rule like that?" He hurried to explain, "I already asked the teacher. Our class seating order is arranged by columns, not by rows. 9 seats per column, so that is 18 people. If I get 19th, wouldn't that put me right next to you?" You lifted your eyelids and asked him calmly, "Did the teacher also tell you whether first place sits by the wall like a decoration or in the aisle seat?" He chuckled, scratching the back of his head, showing a big toothy grin. "By the wall," he added. "But hey, isn't Bai Ningbing taking the exam too? With her here, bro Shen, you will probably only get second place this time." You really wanted to hit him with, "Wow, thanks so much for that." Just then, Shen Jiji stepped into the classroom and happened to hear that line. He laughed out loud right away. He wants second place too. The kid froze, shrinking his neck, not daring to talk back, terrified of getting wrecked. Shen Jiji tilted his chin up arrogantly and threw down a challenge at you. "You got the guts to compete with me or not? If you can take second place in this monthly exam, I will write my name Shen Jiji backwards." You hooked your lips, finding it kind of funny, and lazily looked up at him. "But I am aiming for first." Shen Jiji looked like he had just heard the joke of the year. "Why are you daydreaming in broad daylight? With your usual grades, you are lucky to land third or fourth. Even second place is not something you can hold on to." Initially, you could not be bothered to deal with him, but then you had second thoughts. You felt the need to teach him a lesson, specifically, that a man should never admit he is incompetent. "What if I actually take the first place?" Shen Jiji blurted out instinctively. "Then I will never compete with you for Bai Ningbing again." "Fine." Although his pursuit of Bai Ningbing did not interest you at all, this bet sounded quite spicy. You accepted it. You gave a crisp, decisive nod. Locking your gaze onto him, you said, "Then you would better remember what you just said." Shen Jiji gave a heavy huff, turned on his heel and left. He plopped down into his seat and buried his head in preparation, plotting to show you what he is made of. The exam bell suddenly rang out. Bai Ningbing finally arrived, fashionably late. Those long legs strolled leisurely into the classroom. An ordinary school uniform was somehow pulled off like high-end couture on her. As she passed by you, she gave you a playful, smiling glance. Only then did she gracefully take her seat. Following right behind, the proctor entered the room, holding the test papers. After the exam, you felt completely drained, almost on the verge of collapse. After all, it had been a long time since you had faced such high-intensity exams. Sitting through so many written tests in a row was still quite a struggle. Even your fingertips felt a faint ache from gripping the pen. A struggling student rushed up to you frantically, and upon hearing your answers, he looked as if a massive weight had been lifted off his shoulders. He was so happy he could have taken flight right then and there. Slapping his thigh, he shouted, "It is all thanks to that pen you sold me. I am safe this time. I will definitely jump up at least 2 ranks." The corner of your mouth twitched slightly, forming a faint smile. "Oh, then congratulations are in order." The student immediately switched to a pleading expression, clasping his hands together. "Brother Shen, if you have more notes in the future, please remember to sell them to me." The problems you predicted were legendary. So many of them were exactly the same as the test. You could not help yourself, and casually asked a question. "By the way, what was your name again?" That chatterbox of a student saw his expression freeze instantly. It was as if he had been struck by a bolt of lightning. His mouth hung open wide enough to fit an egg. It took him a while to find his voice again. "My name is Wu Ran." Once he fully processed the situation, he immediately began to protest in dissatisfaction. "Brother Shen, that is just cold. We are in the same class, and you do not even know my name." You offered a slightly apologetic, "My bad," glancing out of the corner of your eye. You happened to see Chin Che drifting out of the next classroom. He looked completely dejected and soul-crushed. Not until he looked up and saw you did a spark of light reignite in his eyes. He feigned composure as he approached you, forcing out a smile. "I might have actually done well on the physics exam this time." Without even batting an eyelid, you indifferently threw back, "Did you cheat?" Chin Che instantly looked like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. His fur practically stood on end. He glared at you fiercely, spat out, "You are the one who cheated," and then bypassed you to rush into the classroom. This reaction is a dead giveaway of a guilty conscience. You do not believe it at all. In the original novel, with the help of the female lead and top-tier tutors, it took that guy over half a year to actually improve his grades. How could he suddenly become a genius overnight, being so confident about acing the physics exam? Other than cheating, there is simply no other explanation. I just do not know what kind of shady trick he pulled to pull the wool over everyone's eyes, dodging both the teachers and Yingao Hai's searchlight like surveillance. 3 days later, in class, the exam results are out. Teachers from every subject take turns announcing them. First period. The English teacher walks into the classroom with the test papers, her face beaming with joy. "In this exam, our class showed significant overall progress, especially student Li Shen. Li Shen scored a perfect 150 in English. Student Bai Ningbing scored 149. And compared to the third-place student Shen Juji, there is a massive 10-point gap. Shen Juji scored 139. Let us give these 3 students a round of applause." As soon as the words left her mouth, the classroom erupted in chaos. Holy crap, a perfect score in English. What kind of god-tier level is this? Everyone's gaze shifts toward you at once, their eyes filled with pure shock. Bai Ningbing, the perennial champion who was never defeated, has finally had her streak broken, even if it is only in one subject. However, Bai Ningbing's eyes flash with a hint of admiration. The corners of her mouth curve up into a pleasant smile. You calmly take your test paper. Glancing at the essay section, you see 0 points deducted. Glancing at the essay section, you see 0 points deducted. Points. Actually, your score was 149.5, rounded up to count as a perfect score. You were only 0.5 points ahead of Bai Ningbing's 149. A narrow victory. Behind them was Shen Juji with 120, and Chin Che with a measly 45. Going up to collect his paper, Chin Che looks pale as a ghost, his body trembling slightly. The judgmental looks from those around him pierce through his heart like knives. His fingernails dig deep into his palms. By third period, biology class, the teacher walks in with the test papers. This time you are not in first place, but you secured second place by a margin of only 1 point. Shen Juji scored a full 3 points lower than you. By the time Chinese and math rolled around, everyone was numb. If it was not you in first, it was Bai Ningbing in second. The two of you are neck and neck, leaving a massive gap between you and the rest. The others can only look up in awe. The last period of the afternoon, physics. Chin Che, who had been hanging his head all day, suddenly perks up. His eyes light up slightly. Before the physics teacher can even speak, a student jokes around. "Sir, skip the preamble. Just tell us straight up. Is it Li Shen or Bai Ningbing in first? Let us know who the final champion is." The physics teacher shakes his head with a smile. "Neither. This time, the top scorer in physics is our new transfer student, Chin Che. Congratulations, Chin Che. You ranked first in the entire school for physics. A perfect 100. You certainly did not let me down." The classroom falls dead silent instantly. Everyone's jaws drop in disbelief. No way. Did he really take first place? He barely got 40 points in English, and he only got single digits in chemistry. The shocked atmosphere in the classroom was instantly broken by voices of doubt. Chin Che slowly stood up. With a smug smile on his face, he thanked the teacher. "I will continue to work hard." The classroom immediately erupted. "No way, that is impossible. Who has ever seen someone so lopsided in their scores?" He completely bombed Chinese, math, English, and biology, relying solely on a perfect score in physics. No matter how you look at it, it seems like the scores were fudged to cover something up. Just as everyone was buzzing with discussion, Shen Juji abruptly shot to his feet. He pointed at you and shouted, "Teacher, I want to report Li Shen. He definitely cheated." The gazes that were originally questioning Chin Che instantly all turned towards that gentle and honest-looking student, the physics teacher, who absolutely detested cheating. His face darkened. "What is going on?" Shen Juji gritted his teeth. Before this, Li Shen's grades could only rank third at best. How is it possible that in just a few days it is like he popped a smart pill or something? First or second in every subject. If I am not mistaken, he must have gotten a high score in physics too, right? The physics teacher's brow furrowed. Yes. Li Shen scored 98, tying for second place with Bai Ningbing. Shen Zhiji immediately turned towards you. His eyes were blazing. Li Shen, be honest, what dirty tricks did you use to fool the proctor and the exam room cameras? This ridiculous accusation made you want to laugh. Just sitting here, minding my own business in class, and suddenly I am getting blamed for no reason. Could it be? Is this my destiny, to take the fall for the male lead? You slowly and deliberately stood up. Your voice was calm. I did not cheat. Shen Zhiji did not believe it for a second. He strode up to you and started rummaging through your desk drawer, frantically searching for so-called evidence. After finding nothing, he grabbed your school bag and started turning it inside out. Clatter, clatter. Stationery scattered all over the floor. You grabbed his wrist. Your voice turned cold. Know when to accept defeat, and know when to stop. I did not cheat, and that is that. You can search the entire world and you still won't find any evidence. But Shen Zhiji acted as if he would grasp a life-saving straw. He shook your hand off. You are getting nervous. Is it because you hid it on your phone? Even the gossiping onlookers could not stand it anymore. A slacker in the class could not help but chime in. We have to hand in our phones during the monthly exams. There is no way Li Shen could have brought it into the exam hall. Shen Zhiji retorted without a second thought. Then he must have had a burner phone. Bottom line is, there is absolutely no way he could suddenly become this smart. Even Bai Ningbing could not outscore him. You were thoroughly amused. Your tone was a mix of mockery and pity. Shen Zhiji, just because you can't do something, does not mean no one else can. I do not blame you for thinking that way, but you treat Bai Ningbing like a god, convinced he is number one in the world. Have you ever asked your own parents if they would admit that their own genes are inferior to Bai Ningbing's parents? You pressed on step by step. Why can't there be someone in this world who surpasses Bai Ningbing? Rankings are meant to be broken. No matter how hard the test is, there is always a perfect score to aim for. No matter how formidable Bai Ningbing is, she is still just human. Staying at the top requires immense effort. If you truly believe he is a genius, someone who can skip classes and pick fights every day without studying, and still rank first just by flipping through a book, then I do not blame you for lacking the courage to compete for the top spot. But I am different from you. I have no rivals. I have no limits. Surpassing Bai Ningbing is nothing to me. As long as I do not have a perfect score in every subject, and I still make mistakes on questions, I will never be satisfied. I want even better results. The genius in your eyes is not insurmountable to me. This exam relied on your own true ability, and it is not just this one time. Next time you will also work hard to reach your goals. If you have an issue with me, or think my grades are faked, please go find evidence after class. Right now, this is the teacher's classroom. It is not your place to act out. You turn toward the physics teacher, your gaze respectful. Teacher, please continue. The anger in the physics teacher's eyes has long since dissipated, replaced by a look of admiration. Not bad, Li Shen. Your academic mindset is excellent. You must keep it up. I believe you did not cheat. Shen Zhiji is completely speechless. It feels as if his entire worldview has collapsed in an instant. He is totally dazed. After a long pause, he finally squeezes out an apology. Then he flees in total humiliation. The students in the classroom stare at you. It is as if you are glowing. Someone in the back row spins a pen, a bright smile flickering in their eyes, faintly mixed with the excitement of a hunter discovering prey. The storm comes and goes quickly. Classroom order soon returns to normal. By now, no one even remembers that Qin ranked first in the class. He stands frozen on the spot, motionless. The bright smile on his face has long since vanished, until the physics teacher reminds him, Qin, come get your test paper. We are going to go over the questions now. Only then does Qin give himself a sharp pinch, using the pain to maintain a facade of composure. He walks up to the podium, taking the 100-point test paper he got by cheating. He only finds it extremely eyesore. Why is it that when others take first place, they draw everyone's attention, soaring with envy and admiration? When it is his turn, there is only questioning and being forgotten. Why is it so unfair? Clearly, he is the true young master of the Qin family. Li Shen stole over 10 years of his life. Why is he still facing constant setbacks, while Li Shen has such smooth sailing, effortlessly winning over the entire crowd? No, he won't accept this. Qin unconsciously crumples the test paper with force. Suddenly, he thinks of something and forces a smile again. After school, you pack your bag and prepare to leave. Today, you are still going to number 1 high to wait for Yunj and Yukai. Zhang Yu has a look of pure worship. Brother Shen, you are way too badass. How did you end up getting the seat by the wall? I worked so hard just to rank 19th, yet I have to sit right next to that big boss Bai Ningbing. It is absolutely miserable. You chuckle. It is because you underestimated me. You should try to rank 3rd. That way, you can sit right behind me. Zhang Yu would not even dare to dream of it. He stops mid-sentence and immediately changes his tune. Brother Shen, I will work harder next time. I will definitely try to sit behind you. Just like what you said in class. As long as you have the heart for it. A student should never say, I can't. You pack your bag and leave the school. As usual, you buy some ice cream and snacks. As usual, you walk through that same old alleyway. But today is different. There is an extra silhouette leaning against a utility pole. The setting sun casts a golden glow upon him, throwing a tall, upright shadow across the ground. One of his legs is casually propped against the pole. The whole person exudes a lazy, nonchalant vibe. Those gem-like eyes turn toward you, filled with a dazzling smile. His voice carries a hint of mockery. Hey, star student, why are you so slow today? You stop in your tracks, maintaining a perfect distance from him. You look him straight in the eye, expressionless. Bai Ningbing stuffs his hands into his pockets, pushing himself off the utility pole. The corners of his lips curl up slightly. Sure you won't consider becoming my sworn brother? You shoot back coldly. I suggest you go to the hospital and get your head checked. Asking a guy to be your sworn brother. Only you could come up with that. Bai Ningbing raises an eyebrow. You think I am just some ordinary guy, the kind who catches clubs with bare hands and takes down 10 people at once. You remain unfazed. I am Bai Ningbing. His smile deepens. I can apologize for my past bad behavior. Please give it some more thought. Without a hint of hesitation. There is nothing to think about. If I were just some ordinary side character, I would have jumped at the chance to cling to your greatness. Unfortunately, I am not. I am the villainous male supporting character. I can't be bothered to deal with you anymore. Without another word, you keep walking, intending to bypass him and head straight home. However, as you pass the utility pole, your arm is suddenly grabbed. A fresh sea salt scent instantly envelops you. The boy's burning palm heat radiates through your thin clothes, making your skin flush with heat. A handsome face gradually looms larger before your eyes. Even though you clearly have the power to push him away, it feels as if a freezing spell has been cast on you. It is those damn novel tropes at work again. Bai Ningbing's face gets closer and closer. Sweat beads on your nervous forehead, while a strong sense of resistance surges within. You utterly loathe this feeling of being controlled. Yet, just as the tip of his high nose is about to touch yours, he suddenly stops. He looks at you from the side, tiny specks of light dancing in his dark eyes. His Adam's apple bobs slightly. He speaks with a mix of helplessness and pleasure. Do you really have to be this difficult? Your racing heart finally settles. You let out a secret sigh of relief, then meet his gaze, staring back without backing down. In all my years of living, this is the first time I have been hit on by a young girl, and almost got forcibly kissed too. Talk about an eye-opener. Suddenly, you find this whole situation absurd and funny. You tilt your head, the corners of your mouth turning up. I finally get it now. The person you ignored yesterday is someone you can't even reach today.